Hi guys, this is Kay back again, and today I'm going to talk about some of the things that I really like about working in the US. So for me, I have been working in Washington DC metro area for about 4.5 years. I think of my work environment as kind of a general work environment in the US. So my experiences or the things that I'm going to talk about today may not be applicable across all industries because of course there are just so many different types of jobs. Of course everything has pros and cons, and the same applies to working environment in the US as well. But today's video I am going to talk mainly about the things I really liked about working in the US, and I'll shoot a separate video to talk about the things that I liked less about working in the US. First thing I want to talk about is that I rarely feel any discrimination against my race, against my sex, against my educational background, anything like that. My firm actually spends a lot of money and time to educate people and train people to let them know about the importance of diversity and how we should embrace all that, and also about the synergy that diverse working environment can bring out. So the team that I used to work for had about 50 people, and there were 3 partners, and for that team actually all 3 people were female, and also 2 of them were not from the US. So having an example of partners that were coming from a diverse background itself was a very great. Not only the firm tries really hard to implement the culture into our daily lives, but also having that actual real life examples is very motivating and incentivizing. Second thing I really like about working in the US is that it has this culture of encouraging everyone to speak up. So no matter how new you are to the firm or how senior you are to the firm, it doesn't matter. Everyone has to speak up, and you have to have your own thoughts and your idea and your opinion. How good or bad your ideas are, it doesn't matter, because you never know what kind of end results you can get to by discussing your idea and everyone contributing to it. And I think it's even seen as a little bit incompetent if you do not speak up, because it's a lot easier to just simply do whatever you're told to do, and it's harder to actually think of what the next step should be on your own. Just because some process has been done for like 30 years, it doesn't mean that process is the best way. So we have this culture of encouraging everyone to think about, is this the best thing? Is this the right thing to do? That way, us as a firm and also you as an individual can end up at a better place at the end of the day. And third thing I really like about working in the US is about happy hour. It may not be big of a deal for some people, but for me, it's a little bit of a big deal because I don't want to be forced to come to happy hour. I really respect work environment, but also I really respect my personal life as well. I think it would be very painful if I were forced to come to a happy hour with people that I don't feel very comfortable with. But at least here working in the US, I haven't had any instance of being, obligated to come to a happy hour. I hear that things are changing a lot in Korea as well. But at least when I was in Korea, when I was in middle school and high school, I heard that oftentimes you are kind of, forced to come to an happy hour, and a lot of times it's like impromptu happy hour. So even if you already had personal appointment or personal plans, you cannot really go because you'll be seen as a non-team player. But for the past 5 years I've been working in the US, I rarely felt that way. So I'm really grateful about that. Fourth thing I really like about working in the US is that nothing is fixated in terms of career progression or career growth. Meaning, at public accounting firms, it's typical that you are an associate for about 2 to 3 years, and then you'll be a senior for another 2 to 3 years, and then you'll be a manager for 3 to 5 years, and then you'll be a senior manager or a director, and then you can be at that level for quite a while unless you are on the track to become a partner. So that's the traditional career progression. But I've seen many people being promoted after a year of associate into a senior level because they were able to prove that they are, capable and they are ready. So this could be a bad thing because it means that even if you have been an associate for 4 years, for example, if you cannot prove that you can carry out the responsibilities of a senior associate, then you may not be promoted to senior even after 4 years. But it also means that if you work really, really hard and if you can prove that you can do this, then I think there is plenty of opportunities for you to make your career grow a lot faster than other people. So it's kind of encouraging that you can actually see the results in your career progression based on how hard you work. But also it's a little stressful because you're under this impression that you always have to prove something and you always have to come up with some kind of results to prove to people. So I think this could be a point that I could talk about from the other point of view, looking at it from a little less positive perspective. And fifth thing I like about working in the US is that I can be flexible with when I work and where I work. Again, I don't think this point could apply across different industries because there are certain jobs that requires you to actually physically be there. For example, if you're a surgeon, you have to actually physically be there to operate the surgery. But for me, because I work in an accounting firm, as long as I have my computer and Wi-Fi, I can work wherever. I think this could apply to like other consulting firms or law firms or some other general companies. I think some of the jobs in Korea also have this feature, but it's something that I happen to have at my current job, which is in the US, so I picked this as the fifth thing I really like about working in the US. Although I don't have much unexpectancies in my life because I'm a single and I live alone, things like that. I don't have too many things going on in my personal life. But let's say I'm a working mother with 3 kids and a husband. Then I think there'd be a lot more unexpected things happen than me right now. Truly, for example, 3 weeks ago, my director that I work a lot with got a call from the kindergarten where his daughter goes to, saying that the daughter got like really sick in the middle of the day, so they really required one of the parents' attention, and his wife could not be there, so he was supposed to do a meeting with me, but he went home, picked up the daughter from kindergarten, and then he went home and then joined me to a conference call to talk about the things that we were going to, and it worked perfectly because nowadays, we have conference calls, we have also screen share. So those were the 5 things that I really like about working in the US. I'm sure there are a few more or many more things that I like about working in the US and the things that I'm grateful for. But those were the 5 main things that I could think of today. But in general, I think I am pretty satisfied with my working environment, except that because it's a consulting firm, there is like some uncertainties. So like for example, when I was talking about flexibility, firm will definitely respect your personal life and will try to implement that flexibility for you. But it is also expected that you will be available to be flexible with your working hours when we have an urgent client need. So that means you may have to work like a lot more than 40 hours per week. But as long as it's like reciprocal and we try to understand each other, me and the firm, situation, teamwork, things like that, I think this is a very good culture to have. Of course, I may think a little differently in a few years, but at least so far, I have felt that my company or corporate US environment is pretty horizontal rather than vertical. I hope this video was helpful and enjoyable to some of you. And if you liked it, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up down below and also subscribe. Thank you all again for watching today, and I'll come back with another fun and enjoyable video next time.